How you doing, everybody? It's your boy Wardy, and as you can see, we're back at it talking about the Amazings, and you guys got to calm me down, because I am way too excited to get into a video on a waiver wire pickup of a reliever, but that is how confident I am, not only in David Stearns' abilities to get the best out of pitchers that he finds himself acquiring in these situations, but more so on why was this pitcher available, because I really like him, and he profiles unbelievably well for the Mets, and they're dire need of trying to find true southpaw options for this bullpen. Right away, you essentially found not only a Danny Young replacement and a young action here, crime rather, from one to the next, but potentially a Jake Diekman replacement based on certain situations. Similar to when the Mets acquired Matt Gage a week or so ago from the Dodgers organization. Now enter, yes, Alex Young, that they have officially acquired from the Cincinnati Reds today. And as the corresponding move, the Mets have DFA'd reliever option Tyler J, who was horrendous the last time he was out there on the bump for the Amazings. Again, not surprised that they DFA'd him. I'm sure he'll stay in the organization and stay out right there with AAA Syracuse unless he has to be released. But now let's talk about Alex Young, because I want to see your initial reactions down below as to who is this guy, Wardy. We're just going to talk about another schmuck of a reliever that's going to come in for a couple innings, give up batting practice, and then leave. No, I really don't believe that's going to be the case here, and here's why. Alex Young this season has pitched a couple times at the major league level with the Reds, scrolls outings in his 2 or 3 games out there at the AAA level, and over 22 innings with AAA Cincinnati Reds organization. He has right around a 1.19 ERA. Total, he has just over a 2 ERA because of inflated numbers from a couple outings when he was in the Giants organization at the AAA level. Fantastic numbers all around. And when we look at what he has done in the 2023 season, because that's the last time he had a solid major league level campaign, in 53 innings at 3.86 ERA. 50 strikeouts. I'm signing up. I'm taking that every single day of the week. And then to add even insult to injury as to why did the Reds allow this man to just walk in the waiver wire? Again, every team has their reasons, especially the Reds, as they're trying to make the most of their current roster configuration, the dollars they utilize. But enter a guy like Alex Young here on a $1.16 million contract, and he's a controllable until the 2027 offseason. We're looking at someone right now, and what stands out a lot is his ability to get not only strong swing and miss on the horizontal and vertical break, but how it profiles at the major league level. Again, his pitches are pretty sharp here, and I understand this goes back over the past year, so how the numbers profile now may change slightly, but nothing overly drastic than what we've seen. Listen to this on just the quality breakdown from his pitches going back to early last season. Vertical break on said pitches, he's in the top 11% in all Major League Baseball. Horizontal break, top 11%. Low rise on that fastball, top 17% for a fastball that, again, sits right around 91, which makes sense. Changeup, we see on the vertical break, top 2% in Major League Baseball. Curveball low rise, top 3%. Sinker horizontal break, top 14% here. And as we take a look at the savant numbers a little bit more from the 2023 season for Alex Young, not as much change from this year. I really can't show you anything for 2024 because it's just a couple outings. But yeah, you see all that red? That means things are looking really, really good in a small sample size right there. But on a bigger sample size in 2023, 99 percentile and chase percentage. This guy's getting a ridiculous amount of swing and miss with those pitches. And that sinker that he utilizes very well induces a great ground ball percentage, as you'd expect, at 81%. So again, 81st percentile out of all pitchers in Major League Baseball, you're doing something right. 80th percentile in the barrel percentage, 77 in the whip percentage. Yes, he's low in the K percentage, walk percentage, right around league average, which is good. We certainly need a guy that isn't going to walk everyone their mother in this bullpen. Extension low, that isn't a problem. That just is based on his release point in his arsenal, everything that he has going. And while the expected numbers aren't sexy, what you want is a guy that can come in and get lefties out. And that is what Alex Young has been able to do. That's exactly why the highlights I was just showing you were him doing exactly that, getting lefties out against the Philadelphia Phillies. I mean, that's what we want, right? Especially in the division, striking out Brandon Marchner. Sign me the heck up, baby. So simply put, this pickup for the Mets here by getting Alex Young is an upgraded, certainly a better, more reliable option over Danny Young, who you're currently utilizing. Has fantastic stuff that definitely grades out better than the other lefty options you have. While I'm very curious to see what a guy like Matt Gage can provide this bullpen, who is a very similar pitcher in the sense that he grades out really well, and he's a guy that was stashed in the Dodgers farm for a bit there at the AAA level, and now the Mets were able to acquire him over the past week or so. Assuming the Mets give Matt Gage a leash, expect Alex Young to get one and then some with the MLB innings he had on his arm just from a year ago and how great he was doing it at such a high quality rate. Now, by entering Alex Young into the fold of things, this gives David Stearns another southpaw option to consider and see what he has in him leading up to the trade deadlines still 2 weeks away. And speaking of the trade deadline, folks, we have a lot to break down on that. We just came out with a video a couple days ago on the top 5 Mets trade deadline targets. Who are they going to look to acquire and why? We have a boatload of more videos just like that coming, so stay tuned. Either later today or earlier tomorrow, you'll see another video on more reliever targets from the Mets. We're going to be talking potentially more on bat targets among others, especially with the All-Star break going on. We're really trying to hammer out all the trade rumblings going on before we are full-fledged streaming and talking about it every single day leading up to the trade deadline, where we do our big stream as we always do. But when we look at the configuration of this Mets bullpen, you got a couple southpaw options. It's Jake Diekman, who no one wants. If you want Jake Diekman, I'm surprised, truly, because the guy walks everyone the mother, and 9 out of 10 times, he isn't getting the quality outs you're looking for. Would I like Jake Diekman to succeed if he's on the Mets? Absolutely, but he simply hasn't nearly enough to warrant him staying in the bullpen and be utilized the way that he has been. Then you have Danny Young, who was great when he first started this year, similar to Reed Garrett, and then really fell off quite a bit. And Reed Garrett has been dealing with the elbow issue that we know, everything going on there. Reed, thankfully, I think is fine, is going to avoid a significant injury to end his season. But Danny Young, injuries hasn't been the issue, as it's been the effectiveness. Guys are just not biting on those pitches, especially down and away with that beautiful slider that he utilizes. If he doesn't get the bite, he has a problem, and then he tends to walk guys, or he's throwing meatballs down the plate to righty batters. So you want a guy that's more reliable, that gives you more plus stuff, and that is exactly what Alex Young gives you. So again, I'm not the type to go out of my way to gas up every single waiver wire pickup the Mets make. You will not even catch me making videos on the channel about every waiver wire pickup the Mets find themselves doing. However, when I do this, there's usually good reason for it, and Alex Young is certainly a pitcher that I think profiles nicely for David Stearns to utilize in this pen. Get working with the pitching lab, Jeremy Hefner, everyone involved. Try to maximize that swing and miss rate that he utilized so well, especially during his time with the Cincinnati Reds this year. If we can get him anything remotely close to what he was providing for the Reds last season, this is without question a slam dunk of a free pickup that you just landed for a guy that's going to give you great success. Similar to Jose Iglesias, he signed on a minor league deal this past offseason, the great success he's given you now. Similar to the other acquisitions that David Stearns has brought in over this past offseason of guys that you didn't even really bat an eye, you didn't really think of too much, that, oh, this guy isn't going to impact the Mets at all this year. And then we have internal options like Daniel Nunez being a true multi-inning eater and a true setup man at times for guys like Edwin Diaz. Again, it's about being a true talent evaluator, and that is what David Stearns is better at than some other front offices that we see in Major League Baseball. And not only this season is a great example of exactly that, but in the coming years, you will continue to see why David Stearns makes the decisions and has a mindset that he does. And that is exactly why a bullpen configuration of having a revolving door of all these different pitchers is a good thing, as long as you are getting the best out of them before you know that basically they hit their peak and then they're going to come back down to reality the way that we have seen with Danny Young, Jake Diekman, among others, in said pen. So Mets fans, let me know how you feel about the acquisition here of Alex Young being brought in as a true southpaw option in this bullpen. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Let us know in the comments as to how you feel about it, folks. And when staying on the topic of relievers, what are some relievers that you would like to see the Mets go out of their way to try to acquire by the deadline? Expect more moves kind of like this, but there are some bigger profile names that I'm sure the Mets will be tagged to if they aren't already. And rest assured, we're going to be talking about them at great length here on the channel. Again, either later today or earlier tomorrow, so be on the lookout for it, folks. Thank you all so much for watching. The Mets add this bullpen. Let's see what they do next, and I'll talk to you all again real soon. Let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.